Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown, along with Ryan Graham.
Hey, y'all.
And Tim Thurber.
Hello.
And this is State of Atlanta. Welcome back, guys. How you doing tonight?
Oh, doing all right. Just busy with work and all kinds of other stuff. So,
yeah, when the world seems to come to shut down, offices don't really kind of go along with that. They still expect you to work just as much, even though you're home the entire time, right?
Yeah, I've been a little distracted from professional work for sure, but
You working on your political stuff? Is that what you've been getting busy with?
Yeah, political stuff.
I can't imagine anything happening right now that would have you engaged in that at all. So
yeah,
we can.
I made a promise. I promised you I wouldn't talk about it. So
yeah, I'm not going to ask any questions about it, but I will poke at you and just not allow you to respond.
See how much we can say without saying anything.
Exactly. Everybody, for the most part, everybody that watches or listens to this has a pretty good idea about how involved you are. So no reason to dive into it, but we can poke fun the entire time. So how about you, Tim? How was your week? How's it going for you?
It's been going pretty well. I think I made some big scores that I told you about. I found, what is it? Dial Complete foaming hand soap refills. That was a huge win.
Yeah, you're in the video game. You just found the wall to bomb to get all the gold and everything.
It's been impossible to find since basically the beginning of March. And randomly, I went to sleep last night. I woke up in the middle of the night. I just happened to check Target, and they had it. You could order it.
Open in the middle of the night?
Just Target.com.
Oh,
yeah. So I added it to my cart. I felt like I was gonna get some error message like no stock available or we're kidding, you can't have this. But I got soap.
Yeah,
crazy.
I found that if I hit up at Kroger by us first thing in the morning, they're adequately stocked of all that kind of stuff. But if you go in past lunch,
it's over.
Not happening.
Yeah.
So we had before we get into all the Georgia State stuff, because there actually is some this week.
Yay!
We had a little rocket launch over the weekend. That was pretty cool. Did you guys watch that?
I didn't watch it, but I heard about it because I know they suspended it a couple of times and pushed it back because of weather, and then they decided to just go for it. I think it was like I got a text on my phone that said it's going to happen in 20 minutes if everything's okay, and then all of a sudden they were like, it's done. We're all right. So I guess everything was okay.
Yeah, I'm a space geek when it comes to that kind of stuff. I used to watch the shuttle launches when I was younger, when they used to do those. And then, so I was all pumped for this. I was bummed on, I think Tuesday, maybe it was Wednesday. They tried to do it and it got bumped. So I was all for it on Saturday, and I'm trying to get the girls with me. Like I have this little moment, like history being made. I mean, they won't remember it, but at least I can tell them the story. They didn't care. They didn't care at all. My memory of watching that launch is going to be, stop it, be quiet, watch. Stop it! I'm missing this. Yeah.
Laurie's brother-in-law, which I don't know if that's what you call your brother-in-law's brother. Is that a brother-in-law? I don't know. Either way, he's an astronaut, and he actually went up in one of the last launches. He went to Russia and got launched up there, and went to the International Space Station, and he came back during this whole COVID thing, and just like, hey, welcome back to Earth. But Izzy was like, we watched the launch for that, and then Izzy was like stuck on watching rocket launches for a little while.
Oh, really? See, that's the kind of thing I was trying to go for. I didn't get that response whatsoever. Yeah. Actually, to your point about the astronauts, I messaged out some of my friends. Like, I bet with everything going on, I bet these astronauts are anxious to get the hell off this planet right now and put all this crap behind them.
Yeah.
I thought did you, on the scrubbed launch, did you notice like they took the bus all the way up to the launch pad, and then they got in Teslas and they went like 200 feet and then got out of Teslas?
I thought the Teslas were like 9 miles.
Not the first time. The second time they went much further. The first time they got out of these buses and they took Teslas like 200 feet.
Do you think that now that they're in space, they'll take the Tesla up there back home? Just hop in that one and that out?
I don't think it's not orbiting, is it? I thought it was like shooting out.
I've got no idea. I say I'm a space nerd, but I have no idea. I thought it was just orbiting the planet,
Oh, no, they docked to the space station.
No, I don't.
The Tesla that they brought up there, but the dummy.
No, it's just Nah, they drove it, they got out of it, then they walked over to the rocket, and then they went into the rocket.
Dude, you're missing the whole point.
There's a Tesla in space right now. There's a Tesla car in space.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
That's what we're talking about. All right.
they strapped it on the top of the rocket.
Well, we also, sorry, there's a bug I just waved off in front of me. I'm not trying to like use the force to change the conversation.
Sure. These are not the droids you're looking for.
But I'm the host, so I can just change the subject whenever I want to. We went to one more point about this past week before getting into the Georgia State stuff, which I already mentioned again. We have some neighbors around here that we've never met before, but they posted on our like little next door thing. They have strawberry patches, and they said any kids that want to come over and socially distance, pick some strawberries is a little thing like that'd be kind of cool. So I'm like, my wife's all into it. Let's take the girls. We're gonna do this. It wasn't very far, so we go, and I'm like, whatever. It's Sunday, like at 10 in the morning or something. And the dude, this man, the husband and wife, and the husband's there, and he's just drinking an Allagash beer. And I'm like, this is my kind of guy right here. Their back porch is all set up to like just hang out and everything. And he's like, can I offer you a beer? I'm like, I'll totally take a beer. So I'm having a beer with this guy while my kid's picking strawberries. And I've been like so craved for like social interaction. I was just like, this is gonna be my new best friend. We're gonna hang out every weekend with this thing. I was just like, I think I talked about him and his wife to my wife the rest of the afternoon. Like, yeah. And then Mike was telling him about how he's a chef at this restaurant. And I'm like, wow, I need to get out. I need to socialize with people. This is getting a little bit too much to me.
It's fine. Get a new best friend, man. Like, there's nothing to be ashamed of there.
He had a couple of empty kegs sitting out there, and not like it was a crappy house or run down or anything. This was just like, no, I ran out. I need to go replace these things.
You can just pick strawberries every weekend.
Exactly. Like, oh man, we're running out. I need to make a strawberry shortcut. I don't know. All right. So if you guys got anything about last weekend, we can talk about it before heading into what we'll came hopefully here to listen to. Nothing?
Got nothing. Just the rocket. That was the highlight of the weekend.
Rocket was pretty cool. All right. Well, as they do my community meetings, the first order of business is to address any new faces. And it looks like we got a new commit, Danny Stubbs in basketball, guard for the 2021 season. Ryan, I think you had some words to say about him being the big basketball fan. Danny Stubbs, the big basketball guy. You were all excited about that, weren't you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Oh, that was a joke. I'm like, what are you saying to me, man?
I'm a funny guy.
I was like, how drunk was I?
I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but I am a funny guy.
Is he a good basketball player? I assume if he's going to come to Georgia State, he's a good player.
I think
he's 3-star.
3-star. He was ranked 11th, or currently ranked 11th best in the state, or something like that.
I think there's a lot of 3-stars in basketball, right? That's like a normal thing. That's just a.
Yeah.
You're either 3-star or you're no stars, right?
It feels like there's just a lot of what? Well, no, there's 2 stars, I think.
Is there? I don't know.
There are 2 stars, yeah.
Yeah. If you're sub 80, you're a 2-star.
But yeah, so it looks like we're gonna have a pretty loaded team the next couple of seasons. Like Lanier's doing his job. It's good.
I'm really happy that our head coach of basketball is doing his job. Yes.
Yes, good stuff, right? Yeah. Good point.
Instead of coasting through his job.
So riveting.
I think he's probably trying to actually win a lot of games and get a better job.
Yeah. Well, that's why I would hope that's why any coach comes to Georgia State, right? To see it as a potential launching pad, right?
No, you should come to Georgia State for your career job. It's going to be forever. Like, come to Atlanta. Why would you ever leave Atlanta? I mean, except to go to games.
I mean, maybe when Arbuckle comes back, then he can be he'll want to stay here forever because he's got the connection. But
I think someone said he wants to coach out west and coach high school.
Does he?
I think he wants to coach high school out west.
Oh God!
But he's from California, so their weather is slightly better.
I'm all for coaches building up us into like a really top tier mid major team.
Yeah, I'm just nervous of having to get into like the Arkansas State thing where they have replacing their head coach every year. I guess even App State, this is second year in a row they have a new head coach.
That's a good problem to have. That means you're doing well.
Yeah, but like
right.
You hit lightning in a bottle and you get good, and then you gotta do it again and again, and that becomes a lot of stress to find that next up and coming, and then you'll do something like the crap down south did and just promote from within.
Yeah.
But they fired their coach. Did they fire their coach? They fired him. He didn't get another job, did he?
I don't know.
Basketball?
No, it's about football, but yeah.
Football? No, he left. He went to. No. What do they do? The next guy? Endless Summers.
I don't remember. I don't really care. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the problem here. It's like you're asking me for information I just do not care about.
Yeah, I shouldn't even brought it up. I apologize. That falls on
Way
me.
to go, host.
Yeah. Well, so I was going to say there's no news about sports returning, but that's kind of not true. Shortly after we recorded last week's episode, the NCAA announced that players can return to practice on Monday. And I actually spoke with somebody at the university today. Yep, and kids are out there. They're out there practicing in their little.
Really? So they're not, in fact, students. God, that's great.
Well, yes, they're not. They are students, but they're also athletes.
But students aren't allowed on campus.
That's true.
So if they're allowed on campus, they're not students, right?
All right.
This is great news. I love it. I love it.
Regardless,
it's going the path you want, right, Ryan?
Can I pay them now? Can I pay the players now? Can I donate some money to my favorite player?
It's voluntary workouts, Ryan. It's voluntary. We're just nothing being.
It is voluntary.
Required of anybody.
All right, you're ignoring the question, which makes me think that the answer might be yes.
Students can walk down campus if they want to. There's not going to be any classes for them to go into.
That's fair. All right, but can I pay my favorite player like $100?
You can't pay them now.
No.
Yeah, all right, fair.
Not yet.
Right.
Not yet.
Say things like that, Mr.
Oh, no. Actually, to be fair, you can. If you want to jeopardize the legitimacy of any future wins we have, by all means, pay the players, because no one really remembers that championships get voided or vacated and everything. It's like all you remember going to the game. Like as far as I know, my team won that game. I was there. So who cares?
Yeah, we'll just have an asterisk. Who cares? Who cares?
Maybe that should be our thing. Is like let's be the team full of asterisks. Like the most.
Yeah.
Just do the violations up to the point where we get don't get just completely shut down and just be known as that team.
Yeah, no, I mean I think that's fair. Let's do it. I'm down.
Change our mascot to the
GLS Junior is down too. He was excited. He wanted to hire Lane Kiffin, I remember.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, who wouldn't want to? Well, I don't want to hear about Lane Kiffin.
You do really well for like 2 or 3 years, and then he gets fired because he did something terrible to do really well.
Actually,
2 or 3.
Has he actually done well whenever he's gone somewhere? He always ends up just getting booted out. Like he was at Tennessee for a season or two, and they did crap. He was at USC for a season, they did crap, and then he went back to Bama, who did not win a championship with him, I think. I may be making that up. Actually, I am making that up. I have no idea.
What a shit team not to win a championship. Jesus.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but if you're Bama and you don't.
Oh, I know. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm with you. It sounded like sarcasm, but it's Bama.
If you're the thing that changes about Bama's team and they don't win a championship, it's on you. That falls on you.
Yeah.
So
because nothing else changed on that team.
I don't know if they won or not with him, but then he went down to one of the Florida U's.
Yeah, where is he? He's at USF or U?
No, he was at FIU or FAU, one of those two schools. They're the exact same thing. There's absolutely no difference in those schools whatsoever, as far as I'm concerned. They should literally just be one school.
Just merge. Yeah.
Yeah, the FIU North and FAU South. I don't know which one.
One's like Tampa, though, isn't it?
No, one's Boca and one's Miami or something.
Yeah, one's Miami, one's Boca. That's it.
Why even have those two schools? Just make the Boca one be their satellite campus. Have the Miami one be like the legit school, and just be done with it.
I want to say FIU came on the scene after FAU, but I could be completely wrong.
Okay, I believe you.
I actually went to FAU for a summer semester.
So which one?
Fun fact.
So which one was FAU?
That was the Boca one.
The Boca one? Yeah, that's the one that should be the perimeter college version of that Florida AI.
Well, they're the Owls, right? So, like, that is the indication into night school, which, throwback to our history, it's fine, but we're no longer a night school, and maybe night schools just don't belong,
Are you talking about the Evening School of Commerce doesn't belong here?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. But we're not that anymore. That's the throwback. That's the tradition. We can look back at that with fond memories.
Real quick,
I was pointing, but not at the camera. I was doing a bad job.
Yeah. Welcome back, Max. And I have a beer for you if you want to come over, but that's probably not allowed or something. I don't know.
Wait, yeah, you don't even let us come over.
Yeah, that's true. I don't. Actually, Tim's been over several times since the lane went down. He's actually in my other room right now.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is actually you guys
This
are
is the
sitting next to each other.
this is the new basement right here.
Exactly. We got walls done in there and everything. So.
F you,
But no,
Ryan.
so players back. They're limiting the number of players that can totally be there in total. They're working them out in small, like 8-person groups or something. And I think they're like having to like shower at the Aspen Heights apartments and walk over. They're not using the showers. And I was talking to Georgia State Pearson today. She said that they're not allowed to like hype each other up and like yell at them and like jump around and do all that kind of stuff that guys get into and have a good time when they're making a play or doing something big. They can't.
So it's serious practicing, right? It's quiet, subdued, but still football.
Yeah.
Isn't the limit like 64 players or something like that? They said
Total of 64 that can be there. I guess at one time. I mean, I think that as some leave. I mean, we don't have enough coaches to break them into 8-person. Well, probably do. But it's all strength and conditioning.
There's 85 scholarship players. So, I mean, I don't know if we have a full allotment. I mean, that is the full allotment of scholarship players. So it'd be weird.
8 players at a time with 2 strength and conditioning coaches with them. So 10 people. So you're not in a group of more than 10 at one time. I mean, I don't know if you'd have enough strength and conditioning coaches to go around to get even the full 64. Well, I don't know. I have no idea. Excuse me. So, but that's cool. That's a sign. I think that basketball is supposed to report in a couple of weeks as well. So you're getting athletes back in there training, all that kind of stuff they said they had to do to be able to have a September kick. So it's good.
So we're going to do it. You're calling it.
I do. I think I said it last week. If I didn't, I've been thinking about it quite a bit. I'm saying that we start on time.
I think so too.
As long as the schools that we're playing against are playing, then obviously we're playing. And considering being in our conference and what's our out of conference doesn't really have anything in any states. I'm trying to think. Where is Murray State? That's
Kentucky, Tennessee.
I don't know where that is.
They're the Racers. I think they're Kentucky.
I think I looked it up before.
Murray State Racers.
Hey, John's not on the. Let us know.
Murray, Kentucky.
Kentucky. Yeah.
Nice.
So that,
I like that.
I just wasn't confident in my own abilities.
Got it.
So yeah, I mean, they're probably Kentucky's probably fine, right? They're all just a bunch of hillbillies, anyways. They don't.
I mean,
they don't really associate with anybody else out there, anyway.
My dad lives in Kentucky, dude.
Alabama had a COVID outbreak during their stadium construction or renovations, and they just kept going. So I think we're fine there.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, so I think we should. And then ECU and what was our other out of conference we've got? I can't remember. It's Bama, ECU, Murray State, and what's the other school?
Nothing.
I don't even know.
Man, I don't know.
Best Georgia State podcast in the world.
Probably wasn't prepared to talk about that. I didn't.
We don't have any facts right now. Who is it? Charlotte. Who can forget Charlotte?
They're fine.
You can't forget those guys.
Yeah, so I say we play.
Yeah, if ECU can play, Charlotte's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think we're going to have our full season. I mean, maybe there's a game off. Maybe we don't have that first game against Murray State, and we get to open up the season by beating Alabama and go from there.
This is a big matchup with Charlotte. I think we're both tied 1-1, right? Someone's going to take the lead in the series.
Yeah, we have 3 more scheduled games with them too. So with that, I'm not a big fan of playing UNC Charlotte, but I mean, as far as the school itself, but while we are where we are, that should be a regular matchup like that. Them and the UABs,
yeah, you've always been a big fan of that matchup. You've always expressed interest in.
Well, I'm a fan of the location, playing in Charlotte and having Charlotte come down here. That makes a lot of sense, and I still want
close.
I want that weekend when the Falcons are playing Carolina in Charlotte and the State's playing.
All about you, David.
I want that. I just want any weekend I can get a double up game. If we can have any time, and that's the best chance because we have.
Well, I always liked them because they feel a lot like a UAB, where maybe there's not a ton of tradition there or anything like that, but they make sense as rivals, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. And Charlotte's a cool town to visit. I've been there several times for Falcons games, and they started it up a lot. They did a lot of things right that we did wrong starting football. I went up there for a Carolina game, and the Charlotte, their version of the pack or whatever it was, their booster club, had tents set up right there at the corner by the stadium. They were handing out koozies. They were getting names and emails for season tickets and everything. And I'm like, this is exactly what Georgia State should have been doing that I never saw anywhere. But
we were just learning how to do it, David. We needed time to think, reflect.
yes, we had to write the book on the way to not do it so that Charlotte would find out the way to do it.
We gave out stuff for a long time, and athletics found that the return on investment on that was like really low. And so they were like, okay, we're not going to give out stuff anymore.
I never saw anything leading up to football being started. I don't remember seeing anything anywhere at any events that I went to. And I was quite the socialite back then. I was out doing stuff.
Oh, I meant like walking into games. Sorry. Yeah.
Before games, I don't know. I know at games, I agree with you, Ryan. They were pretty good about giving out like koozies and
for a while,
shakers and all that stuff. And it's
yeah.
kind of diminished over time.
Well, they realized that there was nothing, they weren't getting anything from it. It just like cost money. So
right.
No reason to do that if
takes money to make money, Ryan.
Yeah, but they didn't, it wasn't like causing an increase in attendance or anything like that.
If you're using numbers and logic against us here, then you've obviously not been drinking enough. Are you actually sober this week?
Oh, man, I've actually had a number of beers. I considered not having a cooler because I only have 4 beers left in my house because I had like 4 before I came on.
I got a 30-pack of your PBR downstairs waiting for you.
What?
I have a 30-pack of your PBR downstairs waiting for you.
Am I allowed to come over and get it? I will.
I would say that and leave it on the street for you, but I think in my neighborhood, that thing would be gone.
Don't do it.
Back my front door.
You're just cellaring it for Ryan, just aging it for him.
You're going to have some aged PBR whenever we get back together again.
Nice.
So maybe I should go open all the cans in there so they can kind of breathe.
Don't do that.
So there actually was some cool news that came out last week for the basketball team. So Ryan, you can go ahead and take a pee break or get another drink, whatever. So
I do have to pee, but I'm holding it. I'm holding it for a while.
Well, you're going to have to hold it for a lot longer. The Music City Shootout basketball tournament was announced, broken by John Rothstein, whatever his name is. I don't know who that guy is. But yeah, so we're going to have one of those little tournaments, but it's going to be like all mid-majors. It's not going to be us going up against the Dukes or the Georgias or Georgetown, those kind of schools. It's Georgia State.
Who are you going to go against?
Georgia State, we're not going against them. We're actually going to, unless we beat ourselves, we're not going against Georgia State. Wright State, Towson, Valpo are the 3 other headliners along with us, and I guess there'll probably be another like 4 other schools or something that are going to do it. So that's good.
Well, wait, don't you want to be in the tournament with Georgetown and whomever? Like, isn't that how we got to play Georgia?
I do like those. Those are awesome. Those are fantastic. But I like actually being in one where we could be the dominant team coming out of it as well. Like
we could have won.
Well, we should have, but we wanted to beat Georgia more, and we did that. But no, I have no problem being in multiple of these because, of course, I could find no information about this tournament at all. There's nothing about this. All there is this one tweet from this one dude about it happening. Ben, who always has the inside information, says he's got some confirmation that it's going to be in November, like the weekend after Thanksgiving. So at least someone else knows about this happening. So you have one in November, we can have one of the early season tournaments to kick off everything or tip off everything against the George.
What is Valpo short for? Who are these people?
I'm prepared for this one. Valparaiso University. Valparaiso. Yeah.
See, but the thing here, I asked the question, but I don't care. Like, I just don't care. Like, this is not exciting to me.
No, this should be exciting for you, and I'll tell you why. And excuse me if this gets too statty for you. Looking at the net rankings from last year. Yeah, exactly. So, but looking at the net ratings for the 4 schools, it was Wright State was 127, Georgia State 134, Valpo 138, and Towson 154. Now, these are the 4 headliners are very close to each other in these rankings. And granted, there's going to be changes and whatnot, but that's a good mix. On top of that, you look at the tournament being in Nashville. Georgia State, obviously, a 4-hour drive to Nashville. That's easy. That's
easy.
Valpo is 6.5 hours because they're near Chicago. Wright State in Ohio, they're 5 hours. Towson in Maryland is the big outlier, being almost 11 hours to get to Nashville. But you should have a good fan base from 3 of the 4 schools. That makes it more exciting. And we have no other. We don't know who the other 4 or however many schools are going to be there. So it's a good regional matchup. Nashville's a fun town to go into for 2 or 3 days.
That's true.
I like.
We can potentially beat up on our former Colonial Athletic foe, Towson, right?
Yeah, yep, exactly, because they were the crappiest out of the headline.
Yeah.
So
Nashville being awesome is still the only good thing I've heard. So, like, does playing people with good net rankings that are similar to us, so let's just say we win the regular season and we get second place in the conference tournament. Because we played in this tournament, do we get to go to the NCAA?
I know. I mean,
I don't care, man. I just don't care.
we would have it would have to be more than just this tournament. We would have to be, gangbusters all season and then just slip up in the conference championship game to have a
even
chance.
Then today, I don't think we'd go, man. If we went,
it would have to be some really big storied thing that would get us into it. I agree with you saying but
you're gonna need the entire conference to step up. Right.
Ryan, I actually have an idea. If you're not going to care about basketball, then stop talking about basketball. Let Tim and I
care about basketball. I would rather play, the Georgetown and Kentucky and all that like that. I would rather play them. It meant a lot to me to play Georgia and beat them. Like that meant the world to me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was like, this is a great tournament to have. That does not mean we don't also open the season off with one of those other smaller tournaments. Why do I even say smaller? Well, there's other tournaments with the larger schools, larger programs. Like, still do that to start the season. Then you have this later in the season. Have a chance for 2.
I mean, yeah, do it, but I'm not going to be excited about it.
Well, you're poo-poo head, so
that's true. I mean, I'll embrace that. It's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already hard enough to excite Ryan about basketball. Yeah, you got to come strong and make him really excited about it.
Yeah, but he won't shut up.
And Valpo, I already forgot what that means, and you just told me.
So there is one big fault with this whole thing that really has me upset about it. So I said it's the weekend after Thanksgiving, which is great because people take off that Friday and everything. But that's also when we play Southern at Georgia State Stadium in football. So we have this Friday, Saturday, Sunday tournament in Nashville.
Let's go to Nashville, man.
Which would be a great 3-day weekend.
Let's go.
Well, so that's my question. That's my question. Do you go to Nashville for this basketball tournament?
To watch us play Valpo? Absolutely not. What are you drinking?
Miller Lite.
I mean, like, what insanity is this? You're gonna skip Georgia Southern in football to go to this tournament in Nashville?
Well, I think you know this about me. I take my fandom way too personally, and when it comes to certain fan bases, I don't want to be around them. Like, I need to socially distanced by thousands upon thousands of miles. It's not 6 feet's nowhere near good enough. And even the thought of Southern fans sitting in our stadium, that just sickens me. I don't like the idea of it. I don't want. I don't want to cleanse that crud out of there. It's horrible. So I don't like being around Southern fans, even if they're in our home and even if we're undefeated up at that point, which actually was so awesome. But
that'd be awesome.
Well, no, it's easy for you then. You're going to go to Nashville.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It just sucks about everything because this is a great tournament. This is for a fan of Georgia State basketball. This is a great tournament. Good local, regional teams. Hopefully a good turnout. It should be exciting for all the teams to be out there. Nashville's a great town. 3-day weekend following Thanksgiving. This is a recipe for a fun weekend, which is all I'm all about. I just want to go watch Georgia State play, whether it be basketball or football or whatever, and have a blast and be drunk the entire 4 or 5 days, right? And then it's ruined because we have the biggest game on our schedule every season is at home. Like if it was away, if we were down in Statesboro this season,
I'd go to basketball.
No question. Yeah. We'd find some bar in Nashville possibly to put the game on for us if it's between or not when Georgia State's playing basketball or something like that. That would be the best of both worlds. But it just sucks that we have this great tournament and we we're really probably not going to go to it because we're going to be at the football game. And a lot of fans won't go to it because of the football game.
I got to say, Tanya said, Oh, wait. Oh, she said she lost audio and we've never sounded so good. I thought she was actually being nice. Turns out I just am dense and drunk.
Yeah. Well, I think she probably wrote that while you were talking, Ryan. So
Yeah, no, it's hard to say now.
So it's just a bummer all the way around. But this is a winnable tournament, which would be great.
Definitely is a winnable tournament. But we need to be at the football game. We can't go to the basketball tournament.
I know that's the right answer. I don't like that answer.
I don't like it either.
Answer. So, but maybe depending on what time the football game is and what time Drew State's matchups are, maybe we can watch the basketball game from the stadium, from the tailgate.
Maybe Athletics will pull a crazy one and just schedule our game on Thanksgiving with Southern. And then we can go.
Wait. Put it on the big screen right out there in the courtyard. That'd be rad.
There's a big screen in the courtyard?
Yeah.
Yeah, like right there when you first walk into the stadium in that main entrance, right above the bookstore.
Yeah, but it faces the field. It doesn't face.
No. The one that doesn't face the field. There's one that faces outward.
Into the plaza.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun if we could actually watch it during the tailgate, to sit out there and have everything set up. Like they should even wheel in one of those trailers, the TVs out there. And
that's on Tim and you, man. You got the buddy with the trailer, and Tim usually brings the TV.
Yeah, we can figure something out, but it all depends on what time the games are going to be scheduled. And
right.
If we have a noon or a 1 o'clock game in football, we're not going to probably have anything to watch basketball wise. And I don't doubt after the football game we'll stick around to watch. I don't know. But
also, I can't stress this enough. It's Valpo.
Well, I mean, I've got no idea that Valparaiso thing, but I've heard the name Valpo. Like they've been around. They play basketball. It's not like they're an unheard of team.
Yeah, they're good mid-major.
Yeah. So, but that's
I mean, so I hear their net rankings are about the same as ours, which is pretty good, right? I mean,
yeah, they're within 4 of us. So,
whoa, crazy.
So it's just a bummer that the timing of the whole thing. If that was to begin the season, I'd be all gangbusters for it. But then again, we have no idea if sports are going to be back, so who knows?
Yeah. Whoa! Don't put that bad energy out there.
So speaking of sports not happening, Tim, I'm going to let you handle this one because this was kind of your baby, the TBT, the basketball tournament.
Yeah, so we aren't going to be in it, but on our own accord.
Is it even going to happen? Is it still going to happen?
Supposedly you're going to go to some like quarantine island with all the teams, and
that sounds way less expensive than coming to Atlanta and going to Atlantic Station.
Yeah. No, they're going to basically, yeah, so everyone's got to be quarantined. If any player tests positive, the team is out. I think, we couldn't get enough players to commit. Probably due to COVID-19 and then partially just this whole quarantine island concept being away from everyone. That wasn't going to jive.
That was part of my question. Was it a matter of we just couldn't get enough players, or we couldn't get enough votes, or they just said, sorry guys, you didn't make the cut. We don't want you here.
We didn't have enough players to commit to even be eligible to be in the tournament. So they're going to try next year, I think, when things calm down with the whole pandemic. It'll be interesting to see if they actually play this tournament and how much ESPN hypes the crap out of it, because it's going to be the only thing.
Yeah, if this tournament does come into fruition, then ESPN is going to be all over this live event. They're going to be, and it'll probably get great viewership too.
I mean, if you're tired of watching old NFL games and old like baseball games.
Yeah, I was talking to my status meeting with my coworkers today because everything's so weird now. One of our topics every week is, what are you guys watching on TV? And one of the guys is like, I'm going back and watching old football games from 2015 and 2010. I'm like, yeah, but you went to Alabama, so you have a lot to watch. And
endless wins, basically, right? I mean,
exactly. Yeah, you do. I saw that Bama Clemson national championship was on. Did you watch that one? But so it's a bummer. It's too bad that with so many eyes being on the tournament that we won't have our guys out there to shine. But it's a bummer.
I get it. I mean, if I'm a player and you want me to go quarantine on it's not an island, but it's a quarantine tournament.
Yeah,
probably don't want to do it.
I do think though that if they decide to do this again next season, we should do our part to kind of hype it up and do some like parties or something. I don't know. Get the guys on here. Get the guys talking about it. Come on to the podcast and just get some excitement about the whole thing. Maybe even see if they can get the players on campus, the student center, to talk about it and get some students excited about it. But you can't do that right now. Even if we wanted to, no one's allowed to do anything.
Right. Yeah, no, I like that idea. I think we should try to hype it up from our former players. I mean, I was wanting them to play. I think it would be awesome to watch them play in this tournament that there's literally no sports going on. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, there might be at this point MLS and maybe MLB if they ever can get their acts together.
When was it scheduled for? July?
It starts on like July 14th, I think.
That's what it was set for. Yeah, which is about the time that I think that Major League Baseball is supposed to come back, but the players,
July 23rd. Sorry, I'm wrong.
Players and the owners can't figure out what they want to do, and yeah.
Is baseball that way? They can't figure it out.
The latest I saw today was they're talking about now they're down to 50 games instead of, so they play 162 in the regular season, and they're down to
200.
Yeah, in fact, at that point, just they play a million games, but then they got down to 82, which I thought was kind of weird. I mean, I guess even numbers make more sense, but if you're going to do 82, just do 81 and do half the season, like make it exactly half. And then I saw something today, it's like down to 50. And apparently the take from baseball fans is 50 games is not even worth having a season. I'm like, 50 games. That's like a game
a lot of
over for a
games.
year. You know, like, what do you mean that's not enough? But
I think what they're going to find is it's even better, though, because all those games matter that much more. And the play won't just like, you know, I don't know what's PG-13, but
well, maybe. Well, so this was fans who are hating on it, but I'm thinking, what about ownership or the TV networks hating on it? What if a 50-game season is fantastic? Like the fans are into it. Ratings are above everything they've seen before because, like you said, Ryan, every game matters so much more.
And players are more into it. So we're watching them hustle instead of just like whatever the hell they do now.
I think one of the arguments was 50 games in last season, the Nats were like 14-31, however that math works for 50 games. And they were crap. They were horrible, and they ended up winning the World Series because.
But if there were only 50 games, maybe that wouldn't have happened, right? Like they might have planned their season to like coast along at that point, and known what they had.
As a Braves fan, I've always said I don't really pay attention. I mean, I watch the games, I go to the games, but I don't really care about a win or a loss for a Braves game until after the All-Star break. Because that's when the Braves. Yeah, I've watched Braves teams that have just been like kicking ass throughout the entire first half of the season, go through the All-Star break and they're absolute garbage. And then through the '90s, when the Braves were the best they've ever been, we were always hot garbage to start the season off. It was like Coach Hunter was coaching him or something like that. Start off horrible, and then we'd come in after the All-Star break, and it's like everyone got their butts kicked into overdrive, and they would go on this streak and. End up going to the World Series.
It's because nobody cared, because nobody, like you didn't care, the players didn't care, the coaches didn't care if they won or lost up until that point, and because it didn't matter. It's insane to me how baseball seasons with 162 or 168, whichever one it actually is, it like comes down to the last game, and you're like, how does this happen? There's so many games. How does it come?
They do it in series, so it always comes down to a 5 or 7 game series.
Well, it comes down to like the last series, though. It's weird. People don't get knocked out of contention so quickly. It's so weird how late.
That was a big problem when they did that 1-game play-in game, which the Braves and the Cardinals were the first teams to do that. And there was one horrific call, the worst call ever, as T-shirts that I may or may not own say, and we lose the game and we're out of the whole thing. And so because baseball is a game of numbers, and I think that's why people want so many games. It's all those averages and giving as many opportunities to do something great. A player can go on a cold streak and not hit for anything, and then they come back and they are just rocking it. I mean, it works.
Hey, by the way, Kim just joined the Facebook Live.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, babe. Thanks for joining us. Tell the kiddo I said hi.
Be cool.
All right. Fortunately, she can't come back and listen to the rest of it until tomorrow. So, but yeah, so I had no plans to talk about baseball, but that was kind of cool. Yeah.
MLS doesn't want to report. Players are supposed to report for training, and they're not agreeing on what's about to happen. What they're trying to do.
That was part of the Major League Baseball thing too. It's the players are not agreeing, the union's not agreeing with what the owners are offering. I'm like, at this point, do you want to play or do you not want to play? That's what it comes down to. If you don't want to play, we're not going to have a season. But right. I sure would like to have. Even though I'm not a huge MLS fan or MLS fan at all, I'd much rather have a season. Like just take it into playoffs. I don't care. Put everybody into a tournament of playoffs and get games going. Have something on TV. Get people back to normalcy a little bit. Sports unite, especially with all the divisiveness going on right now. Sports unite people big time. We could use some sports going on.
It's true. So, especially soccer.
Yes.
Dude, people like in other countries, I remember hearing a story in like somewhere in South America where like a ref got beheaded after a soccer game because he made a bad call. Like literally beheaded.
Well, soccer gets taken. Yeah, maybe. Yes. So that's the most divisive way you can be, right?
Yeah.
They're very passionate fans.
Brings us all together, says this head on a pike in the middle of the field.
Hey, Beverly, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you. Kind of came in at a great opportune time, talking about beheading.
Next topic, David. Let's move along.
So I had this listed down as a random thing. I don't know if we want to talk about it or not. There's nothing to talk about. There's a couple of tweets that came out from Coach Elliott, and they're doing well. Have you ever gone inside of the Georgia State Stadium up top, that touchdown club or whatever it's called, trophy room type thing? It's changing every time I've been up there. There's always something new going on. And it looks like now they have one of the walls as a complete mural of the upset. It's, Dan Ellington like breaking away, the score up there, everything, which I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I feel like we're holding on to that win so hard, so big time, which it was huge.
It was epic. I mean, yeah. but yeah, a whole wall. Like, it also helps me that Tennessee ended up doing better. Like they gained respect throughout the season, right? So like they were down when they played us, but they ended up in a good spot.
Well, they did a little crappy for a couple of games. Then they played the Chattanooga Monarchs and like beat them. Like all the Tennessee fans like, we're back, and I'm like, you beat an SEC team in your SEC. You should probably do a lot better than that. But yeah, they won their bowl game, so it does look like a good win for us. We caught them sleeping, but yeah, we're hanging on a little bit too much. There's another mural that's first bowl game win that we had 3 years ago.
I'll take it. I mean, well, they're signature wins for the program. I'll take it.
My take on it was these walls have been changing so much over the past 3 years, 4 years we've been in there. They'll change again. So it's, that's
just temporary.
That Tennessee.
Well, and who's going to see that anyway? It's going to be the App State fans, right? Or the Georgia Southern fans. Whoever rents that space out was going to get to see it anyway.
They should not be allowed to be rented out to opposing fans. You got to be like a PAC member of like a very high donation amount to be able to rent that.
Well, no. The thing is our very high donors need to put up the donation to just oust that, right? I mean.
Or if we just stopped playing Southern because we were in a better conference and we did not acknowledge them any longer.
No.
I know. Not going to happen.
Well, there's another thing that came across in the tweets that I think I talked about on here. I think actually it was born from this one of these conversations we had on here. I remember talking about it downstairs back when we did it in the studios all together down there, using this state, the word state, but highlighting the AT and then the L inside of the E, like if you just did like the vertical part and the bottom horizontal part, basically putting ATL inside of the word state. They're now doing that with some of their logo and branding. So state has ATL built into it.
Nice. That's cool. It's a little imbalanced.
It looks as weird as I thought it would probably look, but yeah. I'm I'm gonna just go ahead and say that they listened to the podcast and they heard that and like that's a great idea. We're totally gonna do that. So I think
but we know they do, right? I mean,
we need to have like like a little circle SOA right there next to any time that logo is used. I think, and we get like.
I mean, don't they wait for the podcast to record and then the next day they release news?
Exactly. Yeah. They don't want us to talk. We have the breaking news. They wait till the next day to talk about anything.
Yeah, something's gonna happen tomorrow. That's how everybody knows.
Yeah, we're gonna announce the home game, the home football game against Georgia to open the season because Murray State is like folded their football.
Canceled. Yeah.
That's just gonna happen.
We're laughing right now, but I could totally see that happening.
Yeah,
that would be hilarious if they did it.
Yeah, right now there's somebody at Georgia State watching this, listening, going, "Crap!
How do they know?
They called it the exact thing."
Exactly. Yeah. Another one for you, Tim. A little bit. I got a lot to talk about it. Ryan, you should be the forefront on this one. We missed this the past 2 weeks. But there was a video that got tweeted out about a little fly-through of a future rendering of what Summerhill is going to look like. The campus around the athletics program.
Is it a new one?
Well, like I said, it came out like there's actually the past 2 episodes we were supposed to talk about it, but we forgot. So it's been out like 3 weeks or something. But it was pretty cool. The weird thing was. I had to ask Tim where it was tweeted because I forgot about it. It looks like it was tweeted from the women's basketball program. I don't know if it came out elsewhere, but it came out from the women's basketball program. At least that Twitter account.
Christian Hill. Woo!
Exactly. Yeah, Gene Hill, you got it.
It took me a second.
It got 12 likes and 33 retweets or vice versa on that, but no comments on it. I'm like, maybe put it out on a more prominent Twitter account or something. I don't know. Right. I don't know the history about this video, but there was actually a lot to take away from it from a fan perspective on the whole thing.
Have you figured out how to – you've played stuff before. Can you do it? Can you play it right now? I mean –
I don't know if we're ready to do that. You ready to do that, David?
I can do it, but the quality is really crappy.
Questionable? All right. That's fine. I didn't mean to –
No, it's fine. I thought about it. I blew it up. I did full screen on my 27-inch, 30, whatever monitor this is right here next to me. And it tried to slowly go through and kind of grab as much information out of it as I possibly could. And it's grainy. It's super grainy coming through on that size. And if I were trying to share it, it'd just be that bad as well. But there was kind of cool stuff that we saw in there. It was kind of like the end game for what Summerhill could look like. For Georgia State, and it was awesome. There was the indoor practice facility, which butted right up against the stadium. I didn't think it'd be basically connected to it.
On the south side, or
no? So, I guess the first thing to talk about is the seating they built out in the right field.
Yeah,
they have a second level of that included in there. So it's So it's 2 levels.
Oh, yeah.
Which is awesome. And basically, the indoor practice facility kind of runs along that wall. So cutting out the old house and they call it the Panther Grill now, or the state grill. They call it the state.
Yeah,
grill.
I think they let students come in there before the game, right? And like they serve them like hot dogs and stuff.
Right, but the way this looks is that's gone. Because this thing butts right up against those second level seats. So I think they have to get rid of it, which means a partial teardown of that right field Braves seating and everything.
That's okay. Bye.
Yeah, that's fine. Everybody complains that we have it. So
it's super awkward.
Well, yeah, well, we know that. But it does really make the stadium look more like a legit football. I mean, we still have the rounded seats at home plate and everything, but it was pretty cool. It was pretty neat looking to see that out there, what it could possibly be, and have it that connected to the actual stadium where they do all their outdoor practices.
Right, and I think I remember reading somewhere, I don't know, someone with insider info knew about the indoor practice facility being in that corner and tearing down the stands. Obviously, it's probably pretty freaking expensive, right? But I remember that second deck on the east stands being there in some of the renderings. And I think it's Eventually we'll need it. Eventually at some point, maybe we'll build the indoor practice facility and take down those stands and then build that second deck level.
Yeah, well, it's a cost-based analysis. Like, will doing this generate more revenue? Well, right now it would be just a bunch of money, which we can use for other things. Because there's other stuff that comes out of this whole thing. The baseball stadium was in there.
Yeah, it is, Brian. Your baseball stadium.
And it honestly looked so much bigger than what I imagined it to be. I mean, it looked huge. I mean, it looked like, I don't want to exaggerate, but it looked like almost a recreation of Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. Not all the multi-tiers of the bowls in there, but just that kind of massiveness out there. A lot of
the renderings we've seen thus far have not looked like that, right? I mean, they've been like kind of outdoor, weird ballparky.
Right. They looked small, and this just looked like it was taking up a lot of land space. It still had the big blue wall out there and the green lot. It looked cool. It looked really, really awesome out there.
I am gonna take a bathroom break. You guys,
all right,
do your thing.
All right, so we go back to basketball now while he's gone.
We could go back to basketball while he's gone. No. We could talk about the SBC floor while he's gone. He doesn't care about that.
The SBC floor,
Pensacola.
Yeah.
Not being a complete dumpster fire like it was in New Orleans with that ugly New Orleans skyline where you can't even make out where the 3-point line is.
There's not a lot you can do with New Orleans to make it any better than what it is. It's garbage. It's hot garbage. There's nothing positive about it whatsoever at all.
I mean, I'll take the new floor. It's crisp. It's clean. It's simple.
Yeah. Do you actually have the picture you could?
I think I do. Let's see if I can do this.
I think I may have to do a little settings here to. There we go. Should be able to share. Oh no. All participants can share. Yeah.
So let's see.
You got it. But no, it does look good. It's got the new logo on it. It did have Florida did have something specific on it, didn't it? Something about Panama City? Yes,
no.
Yes, Max. Ryan has taken a potty break for those 4 beer he's yet to finish consuming.
Ooh, this computer is dying. Hold on.
All right. Well, we can.
Yeah, we can keep going.
But I'm fine. I'm right here.
Yeah, we hear you. So also,
wow, God.
Also in the video, so we had the second level on that right field side, the indoor practice facility. Baseball looks huge and awesome. There's a building behind baseball, kind of where the original things we saw had a parking garage, but it looks like a building.
Right.
I don't think it's a parking garage. If it is, it doesn't have any kind of, it looks like an actual structure. It doesn't look like something that just houses just cars.
Where is it?
That top left corner of the lot of land, just north, blue lot north of where the baseball would be, immediate north of it. So
I think that was supposed to be one in the very original renderings of like when we purchased all that space.
Yeah, but I can't, there's something there. It does not look like a parking deck. It looks like a large building like apartments or dorms or something. But parking is an issue because if you look around there, there's not a lot of parking. They do have street parking along Capitol Avenue on both sides. But other than that lot that's just to the east of the stadium that was not included in the purchase, that little used to be free for race parking lot, I didn't really see any surface parking over there. And even that looked like it may have been a deck of itself that maybe associated with something else. I'm not sure exactly. So tailgating will definitely be an issue for those that are not on the bricks. When
we just need to stay on the bricks.
I mean, the bricks is going to be limited, right? And we hope we can grow the program to where that will be a problem. I don't think it would be a problem today, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
If we needed to, we could, you guys are welcome at my house.
You hear that, everyone that's listening? We can all go to Ryan's house.
Free tailgate at Ryan's.
I think there's a chance that that even if we play in September, that they are not even allowing on the bricks, and I will allow people at my house.
Where'd you hear that?
No, I mean I think there's a chance, right, that they will try to limit that kind of stuff. So.
I disagree. I have no insider information whatsoever at all.
Yeah.
But I disagree. I say that will be
Hold on, nothing different. We're just doing it.
I think maybe inside the stadium there could be some differences as far as just pushing people so they're not on top of each other, but that's not really a problem for us. I think that college football is going to come back at the max capacity each individual college decides is appropriate for them, or maybe by the state rules. The state may say you can only do this or that, but like if the state comes down, if Georgia comes down and says you can only have 15,000 people in your stands at a game, UGA is like, well, no, we need 60 more thousand in the stands. Tech's going to be like, wow, so you're going to give us more fans to come? And state's going to be like, cool, we already do that. That's our game.
We can handle that.
That's what we do. So,
yeah.
But I think that I don't think a Georgia State game is going to look any different this season versus last season. Maybe our away games are a lot lighter than we were wanting that ECU game to have a big away attendance. Probably not this year.
No.
Probably not. But I think it'll be fine in that regard. Let's see.
I'm excited to see what the university comes up with as far as seating and how they adjust or not adjust. I think they probably have ideas and they're probably just biding time to see if they can unadjust, you know?
I would assume right now they're planning for things are as is. It's the way it's been for the past several years. People have their seats. And, you know, you can do that. Give everybody their assigned seats and be like, if you don't like being as close to somebody as you've been in the past, there's a bunch of seats available for you to move to.
Spread out, y'all. Yeah. Be adults.
Exactly.
We have a couple of free seats. They're empty. You could move into them if you want.
Exactly, especially when they're doubling your seats and they give you twice as many seats as you buy. You have so many options on where to sit.
Is there any indication they're doing that this year? I know they've done it every year for the past 2 or 3 years now.
Two. I have no idea. I just assume that it's going to.
We'll find out probably in like August.
It's a great
maybe late July.
You'll find out when you log into your ticket account and you see you have twice as many seats as you paid for.
I tried to get, I do, you know what, it works. I tried to get rid of them, right? I mean, like I tried to put people in them without, I don't even charge people. I'm like, whatever, man, if you want some tickets, like I got them.
I have not charged a person for an extra ticket. I can't remember when,
yeah. So, I mean, I think that's the strategy there, which is, I think a good strategy, right? They're like, put us to work.
Oh, no. The strategy is 100%. Those tickets, whether they get seated or not, count as attendance to the game. So if you take ticket holders and let's say they buy 10,000 seats and you double their allotment of tickets, now you're a 20,000 seat stadium or attended game. That's what it is.
Well, I'll take that too.
And I'm sure they do want people to be like, oh, cool, I've got free tickets. Come on down, go to the game. But like, my extra seats are not near my seats. Understandably so, because all the seats around me are actually taken, so you can't.
But people still don't come. Like,
yeah, exactly. So
we could all of us together. We could take our own row and probably not impact anyone in that section. Those two sections.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're talking.
And I always weasel my way into suites, anyways. So I'm not even like. So I've got 4 seats, which they doubled to 8. I go to the game and
dude, you got kicked out of the suites, man.
I got kicked out of no suites.
No, I know, but at the end, I remember the suite that you used to mooch on the most was having some issues with moochers. And I don't know if it was you, but I'm saying people were cracking down.
I was in that suite once.
That was like an academic suite, wasn't it? I was in there.
No, that was a private person suite.
Yeah.
But,
David knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She's listening.
Back to Summerhill. There was there was big, cool, walkable sidewalks along Capitol and parts of Georgia, which look good. The Convocation Center looks awesome. The gravel lot across from Halfway Crooks was fully developed. I mean, everything was built up. It was just built up huge.
Well,
It
so
was, it was
the gravel
a
lot.
city type thing. It was a cool area. It's if you took what Georgia Tech has on their campus with all of their buildings and athletic facilities over there in Midtown, and you did the exact same thing, but you built up more of the residents and retail as a bigger component. It's that campus that we've always missed at Georgia State. It's cool.
I can't wait for them to build
across
out.
from
Go ahead.
across from Woods Chapel, the lot that was back there. That's all getting it's all construction right now. They're
really?
doing like an awning right now, and it's like a mostly built up frame right now. And it's no longer parking. It is a build. It's going to be a building.
Goes to show you how long it's been since I've been over there. So
yeah, and then just so you guys know, this week Hot Dog Pete's opens. I think they're already open.
They're open.
Yeah, they were supposed to open because we talked about them last week. They were supposed to open up this week, this past week.
Yeah, I saw. So I jogged by on Monday. Yesterday, and it looked like a lot of people wearing Hot Dog Pete shirts that were there eating though. So I thought maybe it was a soft open just for like employees or something. I didn't know. But
yeah. There's a lot of places that friends and family soft open type deal.
Yeah. So I think it's open now though. I haven't gone down there yet. I figure I'll go soon. Big Softy has been open now for a little while too, which is nice. So I took Izzy to get some ice cream.
Yeah, but we actually we have a babysitter over down our street, and she worked for Big Softy, but they've only brought back the I think it's Big Softy. That's the place that's been open before next to Halfway Crooks, right?
It's right next. It's the ice cream place next to ice cream.
Right. Yeah. So they only brought back like the people that had like the full-time hours, and so she was high school student working like 10 hours a week type thing. So they ain't brought her back. Understandably so.
Yeah. They put a table in front of the door and like they take your order outside.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The Hot Dog Pizza, I noticed in one of their Instagram posts. So they do waffle fries. Are you guys waffle fry fans, or do you like crinkle fries?
As a resident of Atlanta with Chick-fil-A here, I love me some waffle fries.
I'm a shoestring guy.
Oh, those are really good. I'm with you.
I like shoestrings.
I am just a French fry fan.
If you fry a potato, it's gonna taste good. I mean,
right.
So, but do you prefer fries or tots?
Oh yeah, but I think tots are and this is incredibly controversial, I know, but it's like the worst thing you can do to a potato.
No, potato salad.
No, yeah, all right. I don't even count that. It's such garbage. It's the least good thing you can do, right? I mean, potato salad is just. Ugh.
Yeah, as far as fried potatoes go, I mean, I will eat tots. I will eat the hell out of some tots. But as far as the way to prepare fried potatoes, tots are the bottom of the list for me.
Tots are not that good, man. People love tots, and I'm like, God, they're fine, I guess, but they're not great.
Yeah, you've been to places like. Go ahead, Tim.
No, I just feel like tots are hard to cook right. Like you get them and they're like super tough, and you're like, no, this is terrible. Like,
well, and they're greasy.
The sweet spot.
They're like little grease bombs, and I'm like, I can only eat like 5 or 6 of these before I'm just done.
Grease bombs is also what I call the food at the varsity.
Yeah. Which is also garbage. So
yeah, it may be a staple of Atlanta fast food, but man, the first time I had varsity after like a number of years of not having it, I was walking around afterwards and I felt like I had just like some kind of like steel ball just moving, like rotating in my stomach, trying to tug at my innards the entire time.
Full disclosure, sometimes you want something that's not good, right? Sometimes you want like garbage food. It's great when you want garbage food because it's garbage food. It's not good.
I'd rather have Taco Bell with a crap ton of fire sauce.
Whoa. Taco Bell is not garbage food.
No, it's
fire sauce.
Yeah, I mean, I had Taco Bell at my wedding. I'm a Taco Bell aficionado.
The comparison is irrelevant. Like it's not the basis is not.
All I'm saying is when I want to eat just like some low grade meat is Taco Bell. That's what
You like that low grade meat, David? I know this isn't last call. I'm sorry.
No, no. The reason why I was thinking about that is I had when I was in high school, I had a friend of mine that worked at Taco Bell. I say friend, just high school, like another guy that we didn't hang out outside of school or anything. And he was like, the box of the meat comes in says edible for human consumption on it. And that's what it said on the box. It was like quintuple.
That's a plus.
Like quintuple A grade meat, edible for human consumption. And I was like, my immediate thought was like, so one step below that meat is not edible for human consumption. Like they're riding that line. And there's always those kind of like the amount of rat feces allowance in different processed foods. Like, oh well, I know it's only got 0.1% rat feces. I'm like, how much is in this food that I still maintain? You put enough fire sauce on Taco Bell, it's all good.
You do fire, you don't do Diablo, David?
Diablo, you don't see it all the time. If they got Diablo, I'll go the Diablo route. But the thing is with fire sauce, it just has a better flavor to it. It's not.
I think so.
It's not. Yeah. I've got a jar.
Very last call to you. I want to delve more into Taco Bell though. But I want
Taco Bell and French fries.
All right, we can do a dive into Taco Bell in the last call if you guys want to. There's still some. We've gone for an hour now, but there's still some things I want to talk about this week because some stuff happened. Let's talk about it. This is my one night a week. A night a week that I can actually socialize with people. So let's get it going on.
Hey, friend.
Whoa.
The Sun Belt, I guess, reaffirmed their bowl affiliations for the next 6 years.
Yay.
Do we get anything new or anything? I mean,
I don't know if I knew this or not. There's 8 bowls plus the New Orleans Bowl that Sun Belt. I felt like it was less than that. I didn't think it was that many bowls they had before, but it's not like a guaranteed type thing. We're not going to get 9 teams in to the bowls,
right?
But it's the Boca Raton Bowl, Camila Bowl, Cure Bowl, famous Idaho Potato Bowl. Like that just sounds like a menu item.
The French Fry Bowl,
right? Yeah, we were just on the potatoes conversation.
I wouldn't go to that, but I would eat some fries in recognition of Idaho.
Well, I've got no reason to ever go to Idaho, so going to a bowl game there would be the reason. But yeah,
apparently Western Idaho is really pretty and nice to some good hikes.
That's got to be a loaded statement there because Western Idaho is like half the country tall. It's like Eastern Idaho is only it's a little much, but Western Idaho is like this freaking tall. It's huge.
I gotta say Boise's pretty beautiful.
What part of Western Idaho? Is it the Canadian part? Does it touch Canadian? Is it the Canadian part, or
does it touch Canada? Did you say Canada?
Yeah, Americans from America, Canadians from Canada. We're talking about.
No, I'm with you. I just I've not met anybody that does that so freely besides me. So yeah, it was kudos. It was a kudos. It didn't feel like it, but it was.
So yeah, there's the Serve Pro First Responder Bowl. Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl. That one sounds like another menu item.
Frisco. So
Myrtle Beach
Texas?
Bowl
Frisco,
and
Texas?
Yes, Frisco, Texas.
Yeah, so there was a lot. I thought it was amusing on message boards and everything. There was a lot of hate on these bowls from the Sun Belt fans. They're like, there's no reason for Sun Belt to be in all these bowls. Well, it's only 3 of them, I think. Was it 3 or 4, Tim? It's so the chances of a Sun Belt team getting an Idaho or a Frisco, Texas, or Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Albuquerque.
It's probably pretty small, I don't think that we have to worry about that, but that's all the heat was.
Who's going to complain that we have too many bowls that we can attend? That's insane. That's crazy. That's a crazy complaint.
Well, yeah. I think it's the Sun Belt, right? That's what we do.
Most of the Sun Belt teams aren't even good enough to get into bowls.
That's the thing, is if I'm eligible to be in a bowl, if our team is eligible, I want my team to go. And if we have these contracts set up, then they're forced to take us.
Well, these are ESPN selections. This is ESPN gets to kind of like pick where teams go, but ESPN's not going to put Georgia State or any like East Coast team in an Idaho Bowl unless they just are really, it's a bad season, you know?
Right.
So it's not going to happen. So I'm not worried about that. They have affiliations with the other conferences as well. We're going to see. It's going to be this.
And if it's Idaho or nothing, I'll take Idaho.
But I don't disagree with you on that. Like I said, I have no reason to go to Idaho. Like there's no reason in my life whatsoever at all to go to Idaho. Georgia State's playing a game in Idaho. Oh, I got a reason to go.
I probably still wouldn't go to Idaho, but
I hear Idaho is beautiful in December.
You know, the western side, I heard
it's cold. And it snows.
You know what? Five Guys always talks about how they get all their potatoes from Idaho. And I bet they've got good fries.
Well, that is the potato capital of the country. So.
I got so quiet. Oh,
well,
man, I thought I was doing a good callback. It was not a good
mostly your video feed cut out big time, so it's hard to hear what you say.
Oh, okay. All right.
But yeah, but
You're Max Headroom again, Ryan.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
We need to up our Patreon membership so we can upgrade your internet up speed, so you can actually participate a lot better in this.
I'm on Wi-Fi. What do you want from me?
I think, honestly, David, I think we could end up in like the Myrtle Beach Bowl, which is not Myrtle Beach. It's really Conway.
It's actually good to play on that godforsaken teal Coastal Carolina field.
That'd be sweet.
I'd be okay with that. That's fine.
Yeah, we go stay on the beach and like make a weekend of it.
Yeah. Wait, so is the that Orlando Bowl? Oh yeah, Cure Bowl is still in there.
Cure Bowl. Yeah.
I thought I missed that one in there. Yeah, I still, whatever. Crappy. I did see one of the articles referred to the G5 teams as like autonomy 5 teams or something like that. It was a different reference. And, yeah,
I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Is it like a preemptive when the P5 just breaks away? It'd be the autonomy.
Yeah, I didn't read that article about P5 breaking away, but we can talk about that later. The one thing, so I thought that with Sunbelt, that the best team in the Sunbelt would go to the New Orleans Bowl.
That's supposed to be the thing, right?
Well,
it is.
So the New Orleans Bowl is not part of the ESPN Bowls, and ESPN has the first pick of the Sunbelt teams to go to one of these other 8 bowls. So that means technically the number 2 Sunbelt team goes to the New Orleans.
Goes to New Orleans.
I read that right. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I think so. It says New Orleans Bowl holds the second selection. So yeah, I mean,
I think that makes a lot more sense because New Orleans is garbage, and they shouldn't get first pick.
Okay, Max Headroom. Yeah. I mean, when we're consistently winning the Sun Belt, I don't want to go down to New Orleans every year. I want to go to Frisco, Texas. So
to play in that Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl.
I mean, that sounds good, doesn't it?
That's a mouthful.
It sounds like sweet and savory.
Get some fruit and some barbecue.
Yeah. I do have a question I want to ask Ryan. I definitely want to have this one. So you are a fan of the money games. You like getting paid a bunch of money to go play a team, right?
I'm fine with that, yeah.
So our conference mate, Texas State, is getting paid $1 million to go play Liberty.
I saw that. Yeah.
What the hell? They got that kind of money? Dude, I'll go play Liberty. I'll do it myself. I'll play all of them for $1 million.
You're going to take on the Flames of Liberty by yourself?
That's fine. I'm down, yeah.
Will you be wearing anthracite, or are you?
That's crazy. Like, wait. Because Bama is paying us like $1.3 million, right? I mean,
yeah. So I think it was there. There was a scheduling like change or something, and Liberty was supposed to be playing UCF, or Liberty,
yeah, I think it was UCF,
or Liberty's now playing UCF, And so as a last minute type deal to get on the schedule, they're paying Texas State $1 million. But yeah, so you would be okay with Georgia State. Because I know you don't like Georgia State playing Liberty, but you'd be okay if we got a cool mill to go up to Virginia, wherever the hell they call home.
I'm okay with playing Liberty. I don't want them in my conference. Also, I'm happy they got screwed out of $1 million.
Oh, they got more money than God because.
Well, they have about as much money as God.
They do.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting.
It's all imaginary money that they can just dole out to anyone they want.
Yeah.
So the only thing I got left is actually a little bit about more talk about Sunbelt Conference USA merging and the thing about the Power Five breaking off. You guys want to keep this rolling, or do you want to hold that over to last call?
Let's do last call.
Yeah, let's last call that.
All right, cool. Yeah, I agree. I think once again we're going to keep the last call going live as well in case anybody wants to chime in. Although
I'm definitely going to tinkle again.
Yeah, we'll pause it and everything. So thank you, Ryan and Tim, once again for being here. Thanks everybody who is watching this week. We're going to head over to last call for our uncensored and no holds barred discussion, which we found on our Patreon page. And I've not been doing this, but I'm going to go ahead and start linking the Patreon page in our description of the episode. I don't know why I've not been doing that.
It's a great idea.
Yeah. So thanks, everybody.
You're a bad self-marketer.
We're going to talk to you next week.